album review, top 10s, top 20s, reactions, and interviews. All things rock, everything metal. The Rock and Metal Block. What's up, metalheads? Yeah, horns up. Hey, so I'm going to do like my top 5 live albums of 2025. This is kind of like a little side piece to my upcoming top 20 new releases of 2025, which I'm going to do, and it'll be on my YouTube. It's going to be a little bit longer of an episode. This I figure I can run down really quick because I didn't buy a whole lot of live albums this year, but I have at least enough for a top 5. All right, and a couple of them are from the Record Store Day. Matter of fact, I think 3 of them came from Record Store Day of 2025. How many of you participate in Record Store Day? I think they do it twice a year. There's one in May, and then they usually do one on Black Friday. Really cool, it's a way to get people out there and buy physical music, vinyl mostly and CDs or whatever your cup of tea is there, and when it comes to listening to music. And nothing wrong with streaming. I always say this, it's like I was streaming for a long time, obviously as a teenager and through my 20s and stuff, I was into CDs and albums or vinyl, but then somewhere around maybe late 2000s into up to about 2019, I was just kind of streaming because I just kind of got lazy as far as collecting, and it was just more convenient to stream music. And what I found from that was that it was great. I was buying albums off iTunes, downloading it and actually paying for a full album at the time because I didn't have a subscription. But I was still missing something. And there was one day when someone gave me a record, a Kiss record. It was Rock and Roll Over. And I said, oh, thanks, but I don't have a record player. But then I'm thinking in my mind, oh, now I got to buy a record player. So in 2019, I bought a record player. And then from then on, it just built up my collection. Now I have between CDs, I have mostly vinyl. And then CDs come in second. And then I have some cassettes. I started building up my little cassette collection. So out of all of that, I got 1,196 pieces of physical music. That's not counting like DVDs. I got a few DVDs, Blu-rays here and there. But yeah, let me know what you got in your collection. Let's start off with my number 5 pick for live album of the year is Judas Priest live in Atlanta in 1982. This was a Record Store Day. I think I got this back in May on the first Record Store Day. A great set on this album, but the reason why I'm ranking it as last on 5 is that the sound quality is not that great. I mean, it's a great, obviously, historic live show for this band, but but it's got great songs. It starts with the Hellion. This is obviously they're off of Screaming for Vengeance. Then you got Riding on the Wind, Heading Out to the Highway. You got all these great tracks on here. It's a 2 LP. Number 4. Oh man, Yngwie Malmsteen. I got to see him live back in October of 2024 doing this set. Beautiful layout there. The reason why it's number 4 and not higher up, because Yngwie is like one of my favorites of all time, is that his production is not that good on this record. Although it comes with a DVD. If you buy the CD, it comes with a DVD, and it's probably the best live concert. If I was going to judge live concerts, like movies or whatever, live concert movies, it would be up there like number 2, maybe even number 1. Because it's better to watch it on DVD. But just listening to the record alone, the production is not that great, so it's kind of muddy in certain parts. But it's still an awesome show that he puts on. Look at that, how many songs are on there? Quite a bit. Yeah, Yngwie is always the master, the maestro, as they call him. Number 3, Dawkins, Beast from the East, man. This is such a great live album. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. This also came out on Record Store Day. I believe this was the May Record Store Day. Man, this album is fucking badass. I mean, this is Dawkins at their peak, I think. Well, maybe not, but well, it was probably. I think the wheels were starting to fall off around this tour. As far as them fighting and starting to get ready to part ways. Number 2, I got to go with Voivod, Lost Machine. This is another Record Store Day release. It came out on Black Friday, I believe, and I mean, it's just the quality of it, the quality of the sound. It's got a great set, with Post Society, The End of Dormancy. A lot of these songs are from the Wake. I think they did the Wake tour or whatever. And yeah, just badass. I mean, the sound quality is great. Every song, it just flows so perfectly. I love the artwork. My number 1, I got to go with my boys Scorpions. They put out a really solid live album. I mean, is it Worldwide Live great? Is it Tokyo Tapes great? Probably not, but it's definitely a really beautifully recorded record. I'm hoping that they release a Blu-ray DVD of the concert. It's got a great set list. You know, we got a opens up at 60 years. It kind of goes through even you can hear it on the record. It how it goes through like a history of the Scorpions. Then they start with Coming Home, Gas in the Tank from their last album, Make It Real, The Zoo. I mean, they play all the hits on here basically. Big City Nights. You know, they end it with Rock You Like a Hurricane. So yeah, Scorpions Coming Home Live is my #1 favorite live album of 2025. What's yours? Let me know. Yeah, horns up and peace out.